All right, good morning, everybody. See if the kids allow me to work today. All right, let's check out some IBD stuff. Check out some stocks. We got market opening in a little bit. Exxon spending plans spark crude oversupply worries. What else do we have in here? Earnings preview. That could be interesting. Haven't had one of those for 5 days, so not so interesting. All right, market opens in 5 minutes. Market opens in 5 minutes. Nothing in earnings preview on IBD. Pre-market always kind of sucks. It's hard to scan pre-market. I can't really Google pre-market scan and Thinkorswim, but I'm not sure if I've done that before. We can take a look at the stocks that I was looking at yesterday. Actually, a lot of the stocks I was looking at already kind of moved from the past 2 days. A lot of them took off already. Carvana's one I was looking at yesterday. Kind of started rallying throughout the day, and I think we discussed this. It was about here, so it had a really good day yesterday. Continuation off of some lows there. NVGS was had an interesting pattern to it. Tight pattern, very tight flag up here. Flat top essentially was lower. Good volume past couple of days on NVGS, so that's looking intriguing. IQ was one that was looking pretty good yesterday, trying to get over that trend line. Volume didn't end up being as high as the previous day, but there was some selling involved, so I'm not super mad at that. Looks like it's gapping down a little this morning. Skyworks Communications, also with a nice tight pattern. This one off of an earnings gap, just holding very nicely up here. Not quite ready to go, but maybe soon. EDU extremely tight. Look at this action in EDU. Just super tight for a week now. We thought this was a nice tight little range. Look at this. And volume diminishing. The sellers are just drifting away. They're supporting the stock. They can't get any momentum to sell it, so they're just holding on. CGC looking interesting again. Also, kind of with a tightening setup. It's been, you can see the past 4 days here have been pretty tight. We started rallying up here. Elevated volumes on the up days. Lower volumes on the down days. You can kind of see that here. A little bit elevation on green. A little more there. Green was a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little bit bigger than the day before. So CGC looking really good. And FOXF. This one intriguing with a bigger chart pattern. We haven't seen a lot of these lately. Hey, what's up, Nick? Yeah, Cron. Yeah, we'll take a look at Cron. FOXF, an interesting one. Almost looks like a symmetrical triangle, but there's kind of this dealy going on in it. If you give up some of those wicks, you have a fairly well behaving stock with large pocket pivots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, very large ones. Yeah, Nick, I actually read an article about that on Investors Business Daily this morning. It's apparently an analyst just started covering the MJ sector and said that ACB would be most likely be the first profitable, and CGC probably not far behind or something like that. But FOXF right here, kind of getting a little tight on the right side of the base here. Good. Again, like I said, the volumes have been really good in terms of the pocket pivots. Beautiful one there, although there's obviously quite a bit of selling involved. And here is the opposite of that. There's your low candle holding us up recently. Another bottoming candle closing up really, really high. And that one could be trying to get going at some point, FOXF. This one is interesting. Market's going to open by the time y'all hear me. This ranking is 94 for Investors Business Daily on their composite ranking scale. 94 out of a possible 99. 53% EPS change last quarter. So good stuff. Only about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red dots on the whole thing. And 1 yellow dot. Oh, the industry group rank sucks. Bad. So that could be bad. But anyway, there's FOXF. All right, let's see what's working this morning. Let's see what's not working this morning. IQ down quite a bit. VMW, Chesapeake Energy also down quite a bit. Let's see if they rally back. IQ, where did IQ just jump to? There it is. All right, so Chesapeake pulling in a little bit here. IQ pulling a little back into the flag. CGC. Now the NASDAQ yesterday. Hold on. All right, so the NASDAQ yesterday, normal day. We talked a little bit at the end of the day, yesterday actually, at the end of our session yesterday about this day, how it's not out of trend so far. We don't see any major aggressive selling after the fact, just more of the same. Maybe if we have another nice green day here, we'll probably continue with the same trend. CGC getting on with the program. ZTO coming back a little bit after a huge day the other day, taking some rest. You can see right there pulling back slightly. Let's see what's up here towards the high. ACB again up 1%. AMBA, Urban. SoFun yesterday with a big day, about 4. Looks like it closed down on the day, or at least down from the highs, not down on the day. MMNFF up here. Tilray is still extraordinarily tight. This thing is just so tight, it's ridiculous. I don't know how long it'll stay this tight. In fact, if you're considering that a volatility funnel, it's already slightly broken to the downside with that last pop. Hold on a second. All right. So INS eyeing a interesting little bull flag formation here. Probably won't be a tight base 35, so this would have to be a cup base, and if it goes any lower, it would fall out of cup base territory. So when it crosses this trend line on INS, there's a possibility that this may start to go and form the cup running back here towards the 23 to 25 level. It hasn't fallen off so far, being supported there at the 50-day moving average. You can see INS looking pretty good. Boot actually with a nice little consolidation here. Frozen rope pattern. You can see the 20-day just rock solid. Looks like a trend line. That 20-day just looks exactly like a trend line. Little consolidation going sideways here. This could be another good entry point for Boot as it attempts to make new highs. It's after earnings, so I'm going to place an alert on this one. I would definitely consider taking that one, getting a trading plan into place. PLNT getting on with the program. This one not far out of a buy point. It's nothing I'm really trading right now, but I do like it, which means it'll probably work out really well because I don't have a plan for it. Foot Locker. Starbucks has just maintained elevated status. Hasn't pulled back at all, just to the 20-day moving average. Now trying to get into highs. I could see Starbucks continuing in a very boring fashion for a very long time. Put Starbucks kind of back on my watch list. So Starbucks kind of a breakout. Yeah, low volume at that little bottoming candle right there. Or I'm sorry, high volume at the bottoming candle right there. Mega volume on what, Nick? So look at that. Look at that volume right there. And then just off to the races. Boom. So that was your day to buy Starbucks right there. Should have been watching that one. Well, should have been watching a lot of them. ACB and Cron. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, look at that volume in the morning here. Absolutely. So ACB, yeah, actually, yeah. So yesterday was massive volume too. Look at that. And then, yep, absolutely. So let's take a look at Cron. Maybe we just kind of stick with this MJ sector. Yeah, Cron right there, setting up again to go high. They have earnings coming up, which is a little difficult, but that's about 326. It's 3.6, so 20 days away. That could be interesting. Yeah, this whole MJ sector. What's the MJ? Ooh, I like this setup the best. CGC. Look at that. I had this one a few days. I had this one. I already took this one for some profit. Maybe do another run. What's MJ doing? Is it setting up too? MJ's setting up too, which has all of those in it. Obviously, you won't get the most percentage gain out of MJ, but you get a spread of all the big ones there. Yeah, I still have a ton of cash. I just really haven't found like a setup I'm super comfortable with. Speaking of setups I'm not super comfortable with, what's Grub doing? So kind of redrew my trend line. Actually, that trend line's even wrong. I had the trend line like that. That was my trend line. I had a decent little breakout there. Elevated volume just didn't quite work out on Grub. Coming back, maybe it'll maintain. Although maybe isn't a very good trading strategy. It's a position of mine I'm trying to manage at the moment. ZTO, MJ, Chesapeake is Foot Locker, AMRN. AMRN, one I should have been more on top of. I mean, I really should have been more on top of this one. Broke my trend line right here. I should have given it a couple months and it would have been freaking gangbusters. Sometimes things just don't work out how you plan. Better to be lucky than good. And pocket pivot right there on the breakout day. There's nothing wrong with that at all. 1203. 10. And then nice big long base on AMRN, and then another rally here. How I wasn't on that, I have no fucking idea. That kind of pisses me off, actually. Huge run, cut base. I wouldn't hesitate to jump in on this one on a breakout. Look at this thing on the weekly chart. I mean, in reality, this just looks to me like, oh, I'm going to be at 60 soon. It's just a beautiful base on AMRN. Speaking of which, I'm going to come up with a trading plan for it. What is that, earnings? And that earnings was flat too. But yeah, you can see the strength in the market. It's the MJ sector. You got some of these AMRN stocks, which is a biotech, if I'm not mistaken. There's quite a few that you can see that are just heads and above everything else in terms of momentum. And you have the other ones that are obviously already running. So let's take a look at CGC. See if that thing can get back up to 59. That would be pretty cool. Bought it at 3, sold at 17. How'd you buy it at 3? Is that even possible? I guess a while ago. Well, the good thing is you can always get back in. That's the good part. Just got to kind of work it out. AMRN, cup base. CGC tightening action. CGC has a bull flag. Luck. Like I said, better to be lucky than good sometimes. CGC pulling back here right now. Let's kind of maybe wait and see how this goes. Maybe there's too many people coming in right now. They're taking advantage of that. But we can kind of plan a trade out. Maybe this thing just pops even up here to 59. And what's crazy about that is I could get really good profits on 59 going all the way out to May. Excuse me. Oh, come on, CGC. There we go. May to 59. That's still 100% profits. All right, but yeah, so CGC with just a gorgeous pattern here. See the volume declining. We talk about this all the time in crypto. There's obviously a larger distribution right there, trying to break that trend line currently. You can see some distribution already stepping back in. So we'll see if we can break. As long as we maintain this low right there, this current trend will be in play. If it ends up breaking lower than that, you have this trend line to contend with. And so you're looking at like an 8% up risk on that one. All right, a couple things have jumped up. Funco's jumped up a little bit. Not doing much in the daily. Urban, not doing much. Baidu looking better today. After a pullback, going back above the 50-day moving average today. That could be a good sign on Baidu. Higher low on Baidu as well. And that could be interesting. Good volume coming in this morning on the run up here. That could maybe start us something up into this 200 moving average here. Man, lots of interesting charts here. Baidu with a pullback buy to, let's just call it 200. 173.07. Look at the volume this morning and yesterday. Through the 50-day, look at that volume on Baidu yesterday. Crossed a ton of moving averages, the 20-day and the 50-day, all the way through. Broke this whole range. Volume is elevated. You can see some distribution right there, and right at the end of the day, although had a lot more volume after right there. I'm not sure what that reporting is, but I don't know if that was an after-hours trade or if that was dark pool money or exactly how that worked out. But Baidu actually looking really good right here. Maybe those China deals are going to come through. CGC, Urban here. Here looks pretty good too. See it kind of forming, not really a cup. This is kind of a flat line, but looking nice. Talk about ACB pulling back a little bit. CMCM looks like it's kind of curling up. Not really much to buy off of on that one. Roku not really basing much up here. It's just kind of meandering higher. That's actually pretty bullish in stocks. I've seen that before, and I've seen quite a few of them just rip roar out of those patterns because there's just too much buying. They're trying not to run it. We already have a trend line in boot. EC, another good one. Facebook, actually, we talked about Facebook a few days ago, and look what it's done since. Very good volume. Money coming back into Facebook. Nettie's looking pretty good. I mean, a lot of these are looking good. You just kind of have to figure out which one you want to try. EDU just looking phenomenal. Look at how tight that is, man. Maybe I'll get a second. I already got EDU on that last pop. Maybe I'll get it for the next pop. Okay, I don't know what's going on. All right, STZ, not looking very good. Let's go see down here. Chesapeake getting hammered to the tune of 3%. I'm not happy with that. See if it gets supported there at the 10-day moving average. I'll let that one go a little bit. I still don't have anything really running here. Shen's doing nothing. Disney trying to come back. ZTO, IQ, and Grub. Looks like IQ's coming back a little bit today. So IQ and Huya in the same industry group in China. Oh, that's a pretty big down day, 6% today. Volume is pretty heavy. We'll see if this will turn around. Beautiful day yesterday on Huya, just peak close. I mean, look at that thing. Rock solid all day long. Today, probably just some profit taking. So IQ probably likely to come back on that. Lilly pulling in a little bit. Just consolidating power some. LAD. Micron, we were looking at Micron for a while. Yeah, it never really got going. Volume never came in. Looks like it's rolling over now. That's the end of that one. iRobot could be an interesting pullback by this one. Just, oh, this is VMware. Where's iRobot? There you go. So yeah, iRobot just kept going, pulling back a little bit here. You don't see that a lot. Look at the green versus red days on this thing. It's just ridiculous. So I would say, I mean, this could even be a decent little pullback buy for iRobot. It's not much. Not much right now at all, but kind of is what it is. All right, we do have quite a few possibilities here currently. If you guys do see any more, let me know. We should probably start going through some trades. Oh, there's Baidu. Okay. Yeah, Baidu looks really promising right now. Just want to see what else could have popped up here. ACB, another MJ stock looks really good right now. ACB consolidation. Consolidation. Win GHDX. GHDX here is actually interesting. You have actually a cup with handle in GHDX. And it looks like it's starting to round up. Just starting. I mean, it could take another leg lower, but if you draw trend lines here, you're starting to see we're cresting. I don't know why that is so different from that, but it's not on top of those highs at all. It's very weird. Anyway, it's starting to crest on the daily chart. A little bit elevated handle volume, which isn't ideal, and not a lot of run up on the right side of the base. So not my favorite setup. Technically, it would be flawed, but it could still work in this environment. Carvana we talked about yesterday. Looks like another 1% today. Momo TZA dying on the vine. Twilio, Foot Locker, Planet. EDU again. All right, so EDU to the top of that range probably will sell off again. So I would probably say, yeah, let's get alerted here on EDU. Let's go through my list I've got here today. Starbucks, which is almost actionable at any time. AMRN pulling back in a handle pattern. CGC pulling back from highs. Baidu just pausing right now, not pulling back. Yeah, Baidu could get going. I don't see us rallying immediately, but I mean, the volume increasing here is pretty nice. I'm not mad at Baidu. EDU with just super tight action. And ACB, CGC. I think we just went over CGC, pulling back a little bit. See what MJ's doing. MJ now slightly negative to flat. What's the NASDAQ up to? Down 0.22%. See how the NASDAQ's been behaving. Let's go to futures. Show extended hours trading session. Highlight extended hours trading session. All right, there we go. So there's the NASDAQ as we know and love it. And I'm out of water. I am out of water. Let's look at some of the other ones I've had on my list through the past week or so. Grub's been on my list. I had Manitowoc. Hasn't done a lot. LL. Chesapeake Energy. PRGO. Consolidating that big earnings pop. TTD, been looking for a pullback on this one, and it's been continuing to pull back. GHDX, I had these on 228. Match.com, also with a very similar structure to GHDX, cup and handle. CRISPR, off of the 50-day moving average. PII, TTD. Not too many of these have transpired as of yet. Site, QCOM, GTE. No, none of these have really done much. SoFun. This one had a little pop since, and the Nasdaq moving lower. Amazon, Trex, still consolidating, actually breaking that trend line today. CVNA, Carvana. This one I had on 3.5 yesterday. This was yesterday. I was looking at this in the morning. You can see the good action. I think we've got over the rest of those. Skyworks yesterday. And I can go back older than that. Tilray, Manitowoc, NXPI. Still holding up. FANG, we had a bunch of these oil stocks one day that were looking good. MED, still looks like it hasn't rallied. HCC looks pretty good. XON. So, have a good day, Bugs.
You too.
Love you.
I do.
Get out of here.
You get out of here.
You get out of here.
You get out of here.
Oh, I have to get out of here?
Yeah, you have to.
So let's see what happens here. Yeah, not a lot of the ones I've been looking at have been running as of late. Maybe in the next cycle they'll all run. That's how it works. You look at stocks that are setting up, they don't run, and other stocks run, and then that same list of stocks that didn't run start to run. It always cycles around like that. They never give you what you want. But even by going off this top list, we can see in the past week or so, we don't have too many that haven't moved except for earnings pops. Boot really nice and tight right there. We'll see if that continues. TGWO, EDU. Still like EDU. OTAX also holding up really nicely. Tilray's valuation is just really rich probably. Data Match. Match.com looks really good. We'll see if that will. Does that have earnings coming up? Kind of. May. Excuse me. May 7th. So 2 months from now. We'll see if that can hold that base for 2 months. That won't happen. Look at my Fox. Holding up nice and tight. So we do have a little bit of a history of distribution as it tries to break out of this triangle. I mean, if you even consider that the triangle. I mean, really, in reality, maybe all this means it's not a triangle. Who knows on that one? But there is that form of a structure to it with just a couple of shakeouts here at the top. But pretty tight here on the right side of the base. You know what? Let me go to here and pull up Fox. See what our volume aggregation tool has to say. Let's go to the daily. And it's definitely mixed. Definitely mixed volume aggregation tool for Fox. You've got big spike of green. It alternates. Red, green, green. More recently green, which is good. But there has been quite a bit of distribution throughout there. Let's go to the 2-hour chart. And so that's your start. You got big red, big green, big red, medium green, medium green, medium green, biggish red. So pretty mixed on Fox. It isn't really that great. Let's look at some of these MJ names. Look at CGC. You can see in this base, this most recent base on CGC, quite a bit of green, and a little bit more red through here, and we're now mixed. Let's look at some of the other ones we have. Starbucks. Actually, quite a bit of red up here. Some of the candles not necessarily closing in at highs, or that just means volume super diminished, but the bears have the edge on that on the volume aggregation tool. AMRN. Quite a bit of green. Get off log chart for these. It doesn't work so well on stocks. Mixed on the way up, mixed, and quite a bit of green here recently. Quite a bit more green than we've had in the past on AMRN. We just saw CGC. Quite a bit more buying there than selling. Baidu. Ooh, look at all that selling in Baidu. Looks like the buyer's just starting to come back. If you look at the 2-hour chart here. Look at the daily, it may be a slightly different story. Nope, not a different story at all. Looking at EDU. Up here in this very tight flag. Lots of green on the 2-hour volume aggregation tool. Let's go to the daily. Fairly mixed, but green as of late. Quite a bit of red throughout here as it bases, and then green as just prior to it breaking out. And then currently mixed, but the green has the edge. ACB is another one that I've got. Mixed going up. Hold on a second, I'm going to check on my kid. So the VA tool not giving us a lot of help. NASDAQ coming back a little bit. Let's go see what's going on here. Chesapeake is...
Daddy,
Yes, James.
before the day before this day, she didn't have a good nap.
Yeah, I know.
But when she was sleeping with me, she did have a good nap because the pillow.
Very nice.
That was her pillow.
I know it's her pillow. I bought her that pillow. Most expensive pillow in the world. Yeah. Anyway, I'm streaming, bugs. All right. So IQ pulling back a little bit more. Chesapeake. Huya down 6% now. NIO. Yeah, this was looking good. We mentioned they had earnings. This is why we don't buy before earnings. We never quite know what's going to happen. Another good lesson for that. If you guys haven't experienced that, congratulations. You're still a virgin. ENTP, MU pulling back, Chesapeake, Goose, Riot, Dropbox, Soy. THO looks like breaking that trend line right there. Not good. Save, iRobot. Gonna get going in a little bit here, guys. Spend some more time on the crypto as that market tries to find a footing in either direction currently. Weibo. Pergo. Eli Lilly, INSG, ACB. Clicking from the bottom up here now. This is always a fun exercise. WHD looks pretty good. Earnings coming up. Always a no-no. What's that? ABG? Oh, that's not it. There you go. Therm with a very fairly orderly triangle. That one's interesting. Your broker takes days to receive your money? Why is that? Want to buy Tesla? Why does everybody want to buy Tesla? Like, I get it, but I don't. I mean, there's 5,000 stocks to trade. Tesla won't make you more rich or less rich than the next stock. So, you know. Well, it's funny because I put funds in my kids' Roth IRA. I can trade it immediately, which shocked me. I thought I would have to wait a day. But literally, that they let me buy immediately. And I was like, wow, really? You're going to let me buy right now? So I thought that was weird. But, I mean, yeah, it's probably, like we said, 250. The only issue I have down here, and maybe it's not an issue, maybe they're just starting to accumulate it, is the volume. But we talked about maybe getting down towards 250 and buying around that 250 level. That's where we have seen more accumulation. So probably sub 275 is where they just start accumulating, and then so far there's been a hard floor recently here at about 250 on Tesla. You can see a number of occasions where it's come and tested it. Yes, James.
Can you get me more honey nut Cheerios?
Yeah, I'll get you more cereal. Hold on, guys. All right, I'm back. All right, so NASDAQ being more choppy up here. Maybe it'll be a choppy day. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, so market doing what the market do. And just, let it work. Look for those points. We're still consolidating. We haven't had too many breakouts the past few days. Looks like Roku's kind of edging its way higher here. And we talked about that one a little bit ago. And it's just kind of continuing higher day by day, which is good. You can see here it can continue for a long time. But a lot of consolidating stocks are not quite doing that. They're just consolidating. GHDX is one of them. We have a few cup with handles in here. Here, maybe could be starting to maybe fill the right side of a larger cup. We'll have to see on that one. That would take us up to, 34 by July. Let's see how that works out. Earnings coming up too, which is always dangerous. Oh, wow. That's huge money. Yeah. Let's look into that one. That's a gamble play. 34 by July gets 800%. I'll take a gamble on that. Take a flyer. 34 by July. Now, it also could crash on earnings. I went to a GameStop when I was searching for my nephew's a present for him. Oh, it's today after hours. Have to make a decision today if you want that. They said it wasn't really selling as well as they used to sell, and that was kind of back. When we're dancing close and slow is by Prince. Siri is deaf, I swear. Anyway, they said it wasn't selling that well. But if the market maintains healthy, if that can go back all the way up to the high of the cup, that's a ridiculous trade. Carvana's still working. Carvana, one of the few that are running. Yet you see yesterday, you see today, both on the top of my leaderboard here. STNE, beautiful consolidation right at your IPO high. Oh, how is this not on my list? How is this not on my list? That's ridiculous. Look at that volume. How is this not on my list? Now consolidating just a little bit. Oh, this thing's gorgeous. Earnings coming up. Ooh, 318. That's dangerous. But look at that volume. Look at that. You have some volume over here too, but it's been very flat. So the sellers have definitely evaporated and just tons of buyers stepping in here. So STNE, probably one of my favorite stocks right now, and also an IPO breakout. We don't talk much about IPO breakouts because we don't see them a lot, but a break of the IPO price would be an IPO high. This could be or IPO breakout. This also could have been considered an IPO breakout. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.